I'm just looking at the Haemophilia Foundation Australia's Instagram page. Now, this organisation has had millions and millions and millions of dollars from the Australian taxpayer and also from one of their sponsors, Australia's largest business, jab and blood products maker, CSL. And we think it's because of their finances, where they get their money from, which is the reason why this Haemophilia Foundation has never once said that there should be an investigation into 1,400 haemophiliacs being killed by CSL treatments. Okay, so their sponsors made the treatments. Now, there's not that many haemophiliacs in Australia. Okay, before the 2000s, we had a contaminated treatment scandal, and haemophiliacs were hit very, very hard. And a population before the 2000s of haemophiliacs in Australia could be said to be no more than about 2,500. Okay, and every single one of them that used these blood treatments made by CSL, okay, ended up being infected with the deadly virus hepatitis C. And this person here in the top right corner is the boss of the Haemophilia Foundation. She actually rang me, Charles Mackenzie, up 20 years ago as very aggressive and basically told me to stop talking about this issue, okay? And she's never once called for an inquiry into 1,400 haemophilia deaths. I mean, this is the boss of the Haemophilia Foundation Australia. There's 2,500 haemophiliacs in the country. 1,400 of them have been killed by HIV and hepatitis C contaminated blood treatments. She's received millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and she doesn't say a word about 1,400 deaths from a possible population of 2,500, and not all of them use blood treatments, for goodness sake. What the bloody hell's going on? And you can see here in the comments section, they're talking about this 2021 conference that they were just having a chat on with all these doctors. And we've left a comment here where they're talking about where to from here for haemophilia. And we wrote, where to from here? How about jail for covering up the infected blood scandal? What a disgrace Sharon Carris is. She has caused so much suffering. This is the executive director of the Haemophilia Foundation. Why did she never once call for a Royal Commission of Inquiry into so many haemophiliacs infected to tainted blood? Why? We will never stop asking why. And how dare she draw a salary all these years while haemophiliacs were suffering under Sharon Carris and her cover-up. Talk about having a foundation or a charity when you don't have a charity. They've had millions and millions over decades. Whereas myself, Charles Mackenzie, I've used my pension to speak up for haemophiliacs. And we've had haemophiliacs who've been infected with Hep C from their blood products speak up. And you know what? This Sharon Carris, this Haemophilia Foundation, they've made Australia think that everything's hunky-dory, that people like us are liars, because they've never once spoke up, because they're very happy to keep on collecting all of that money from the government to make it look like they're a foundation for haemophiliacs, when in actual truth what they are is they've been put there as stooges, because the government knew that one day the haemophilia infections would come out. One day evidence of Australia's worst treatment scandal would come out, and that's why they installed one of their former government workers, Sharon Carris. 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago, she's had millions and millions and millions. We've not had 1 cent, and we've done far more to raise awareness for Australia's worst treatment scandal and 1,400 haemophilia deaths than this multi-million-dollar funded organisation that the Australian taxpayer pays for. Australia is a corrupt mess.